The Nicomachean Ethics of Aristotle.
Read and presented by George Pitropagianakis.
Book 8, Chapter 5.
That, then, is perfect friendship, which subsists between those who are good, and whose similarity consists in their goodness. For these men wish one another's good in similar ways, insofar as they are good, and good they are in themselves. And those are especially friends who wish good to their friends for their sakes, because they feel thus towards them on their own account, and not as a mere matter of result. So, the friendship between these men continues to subsist so long as they are good, and goodness, we know, has in it a principle of permanence. Moreover, each party is good abstractedly and also relatively to his friend, for all good men are not only abstractedly good, but also useful to one another. Such friends are also mutually pleasurable, because all good men are so abstractedly and also relatively to one another, inasmuch as to each individual those actions are pleasurable, which correspond to his nature, and all such as are like them. Now, when men are good, these will be always the same, or at least similar. Friendship, then, under these circumstances, is permanent, as we should reasonably expect, since it combines in itself all the requisite qualifications of friends. I mean that friendship of whatever kind is based upon good or pleasure, either abstractedly or relatively to the person entertaining the sentiment of friendship, and results from a similarity of some sort. And to this kind belong all the aforementioned requisites in the parties themselves, because in this the parties are similar, and so on. Moreover, in it there is the abstractedly good and the abstractedly pleasant. And as these are especially the object matter of friendship, so the feeling. And the state of friendship is found most intense and most excellent in men thus qualified. Rare, it is probable, friendships of this kind will be, because men of this kind are rare. Besides, all requisite qualifications being presupposed, there is further required time and intimacy. For, as the proverb says, men cannot know one another till they have eaten the requisite quantity of salt together, nor can they in fact admit one another to intimacy, much less be friends, till each has appeared to the other and been proved to be a fit object of friendship. They who speedily commence an interchange of friendly actions may be said to wish to be friends, but they are not so, unless they are also proper objects of friendship and mutually known to be such. That is to say, a desire for friendship may arise quickly, but not friendship itself. Well, this friendship is perfect both in respect of the time and in all other points, and exactly the same and similar results accrue to each party from the other, which ought to be the case between friends. The friendship based upon the pleasurable is, so to say, a copy of this, since the good are sources of pleasure to one another, and that based on utility likewise, the good being also useful to one another. Between men thus connected, friendships are most permanent. When the same result accrues to both from one another, pleasure, for instance, and not merely so, but from the same source, as in the case of two men of easy pleasantry, and not as it is in that of a lover and the object of his affection. This not deriving their pleasure from the same causes, but the former from seeing the latter, and the latter from receiving the attentions of the former. And when the bloom of youth fades, the friendship sometimes ceases also, because then the lover derives no pleasure from seeing, and the object of his affection ceases to receive the attentions which were paid before. In many cases, however, people so connected continue friends, if being of similar tempers, they have come from custom to like one another's disposition. Where people do not interchange pleasure, but profit in matters of love, the friendship is both less intense in degree and also less permanent. In fact, they who are friends because of advantage commonly part when the advantage ceases, for in reality they never were friends of one another, but of the advantage. So then it appears that from motives of pleasure or profit, bad men may be friends to one another, or good men to bad men, or men of neutral character to one of any character whatever, but disinterestedly for the sake of one another. Plainly, the good alone can be friends, because bad men have no pleasure even in themselves, unless in so far as some advantage arises. And further, the friendship of the good is alone superior to calumny, it not being easy for men to believe a third person respecting one whom they have long tried and proved. There is between good men mutual confidence and the feeling that one's friend would never have done one wrong, and all other such things as are expected in friendship really worthy the name. But in the other kinds there is nothing to prevent all such suspicions. I call them friendships, because since men commonly give the name of friends to those who are connected from motives of profit, which is justified by political language, for alliances between states are thought to be contracted with a view to advantage, and to those who are attached to one another by the motive of pleasure. As children are, we may perhaps also be allowed to call such persons friends, and say there are several species of friendship, primarily and specially that of the good, in that they are good, and the rest only in the way of resemblance. I mean, people connected otherwise are friends in that way, in which there arises to them somewhat good and some mutual resemblance, because we must remember the pleasurable is good to those who are fond of it. These secondary friendships, however, do not combine very well. That is to say, the same persons do not become friends by reason of advantage, and by reason of the pleasurable, for these matters of result are not often combined. And friendship having been divided into these kinds, bad men will be friends by reason of pleasure or profit, this being their point of resemblance, while the good are friends for one another's sake, that is, insofar as they are good. These last may be termed abstractedly and simply friends, the former as a matter of result, and termed friends from their resemblance to these last.